Welcome to Counselor's Day with President Jack Thomas at Central State University. I am Zilla Fluker, Vice President of Institution Advancement. We are so excited. We've invited counselors from all over the state of Ohio, and you're in for a special 1-hour treat just to engage and have meaningful conversation. Our hosts for today are none other than our Dean of Enrollment Management, Dr. Harold Dixon, and we also have with us our Director of Admissions and Enrollment Management, Ms. Isabel Sanders.
Good morning. How's everyone? We're glad to have you, counselors. I am Harold Dixon, again, Dean of Enrollment Management. I serve as the primary recruiting officer, helping to advance the university, bringing in our best and brightest students from all across the nation and globally. I also provide leadership to the admissions office and financial aid in terms of our orientation process. Ms. Ko, how are you?
I'm great. I'm just so excited to be here. This is a great event that the president is putting on today. And, counselors are such an important part of the students' decision-making process for college. And I think the president definitely knows that, and he has a great day planned for them ahead.
Absolutely. We got some exciting information for you, counselors. Again, thanks for sticking with us this 1 hour, but I'm telling you, it's definitely going to be worth it. Let's get started with our raffle giveaway. I'm going to send it back over to Dr. Fluker. She's going to share some exciting information in terms of our wheel and the gift cards and iPads and things that we're looking to give away. Dr. Fluker, are you ready?
I am ready, and thank you for giving me the most exciting task of the day. One of the things that's really important to this university is the acknowledgement and realization of all the hard work that you all have been putting in. This is an unprecedented year. We're having new experiences and having to adjust real time to deal with the global pandemic. And so we want to just express our appreciation in a very small but meaningful way. We had over 85 individuals register for this conference, and we took the first 50 registrants and we've entered you into a drawing for a series of $50 gift cards from multiple locations, as well as a major prize at the end, which is an iPad. So we're going to go ahead and bring the wheel up and show our 50 first registrants. And we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel to see who our first winner is. On the count of three, 1, 2, 3. It's spinning. It's spinning. And we're landing at, let's see who that is. Bridget Johnson. Ms. Johnson, congratulations. You are the winner of our first Visa $50 gift card. We will be sending it to you directly. We have your contact information. Thank you very much. And back over to you, Dr. Dixon and Ms. Ko.
Congratulations, Ms. Johnson. We're excited for you. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. F. Eric Brooks. Comes to us with a host of experience from multiple institutions. Dr. Brooks recently served as Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences and the Director of the Whitney Young Honors Collegium at Kentucky State University. He also served as Dean and Director of the Centennial Honors College and the Chair of the Department of African American Studies at Western Illinois University. He's also served in multiple capacities at Georgia Southern University, as interim chair of the Department of Political Science, assistant to the dean in the College of Liberal Arts, and definitely director of Master of Public Administration. He's earned a Bachelor's of Science degree from Troy State University, 3 master's degrees, 1 in education, public administration, and in science. Dr. Brooks also holds a PhD in public policy from Virginia Commonwealth University. And I'm happy to say that Dr. Brooks is also a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I had to throw that in there. Dr. Brooks, are you with us today? Our Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs. Let's welcome Dr. F. Eric Brooks.
So I am not Dr. F. Eric Brooks, but on his behalf, he will be joining us later on. He's very, very excited to engage the counselors. As you can see, education is a theme for our new provost, who you've probably seen on television because he's also a highly sought after political analyst and recently gave commentary on his research that centers around the United States presidency as it relates to the African American community. So I'm going to toss it back over to you, Dr. Dixon, and have you go on to the next part of the program.
Absolutely. Again, we also have some exciting news. I'm going to ask Ms. Kale to come back on the scene. She's going to share and bring on our Student Affairs and Enrollment Management Vice President, Ms. Wendy Hayes. Ms. Kale, can you?
Absolutely. Of course, I have the honor of introducing my own VP, Ms. Wendy Hayes, who again is the Vice President of Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. Ms. Hayes? Ms. Hayes, we're going to need you to unmute your mic. We're not able to hear you.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
Okay, let's try that again. Good morning, Ms. Kale Sanders, and thank you for that introduction. Also, good morning to Dr. Dixon and Dr. Fluker. I am very excited to join today's event. I'm excited to also, or delighted really, to have this opportunity to speak with our counselors about the university. Dr. Brooks, when he joins you, he will talk about all of the academic programming that your students will be interested in. On my end, I complete that wraparound support for your students from the Student Affairs and Enrollment Management Division. I want to briefly just talk about the 4 major offices that are housed in the Division of Student Affairs. There are many, but these are the 4 that I really want to focus on. The Student Leadership and Engagement Office will help your students develop and enhance their leadership skills. This is the office that houses all of our student-led organizations, and it also houses our Greek organizations. So students will have an opportunity to develop those leadership skills and those soft skills that are so important to employers. That leads me to the next office, Career Services. Career Services provides a lot of workshops that help students create their resumes. They have mock interviews. They counsel the students on how to present themselves. So those soft skills, again, are further developed in the Office of Career Services. The next office that I want to focus on is our Center for Student Health and Psychological Services. We have licensed counselors on the campus to help support students, especially now in this time of a pandemic and isolation. It's so important that students have a place to go to have those very personal conversations with the assurance that their conversations aren't going outside of the room. So I wanted to make sure that you understand that we know that students have challenges and that we are here in that area also to support. The last office that I wanted to focus on is Residence Life. Residence Life is where almost 80% of our students live. We are a residential campus, and we fully intend to be continue to be open. We were open this fall. We will be open next fall. And we want our students to be close by because those freshmen especially need all of the supports to be successful. And that starts with being a resident on campus. That office also works very closely with our campus police. You cannot have a campus that is conducive to academic success without understanding that it is going to be safe. And our campus is a very safe campus. I want to kind of pivot back to the Office of Career Services. Student Affairs, we understand, Central State understands that it is so important that students have an opportunity to have internships. Internships lead to permanent positions. And so we work very closely with the Office of Institutional Advancement to help develop those relationships with corporations and agencies at the local, state, and federal level. Those relationships are key to our students having an opportunity to gain those experiences that lead to permanent job placement. So again, counselors, I want you to walk away from my conversation with you knowing that your students will be fully supported with that wraparound approach, and that we will continue to help them matriculate to graduation and then into the areas that they want to pursue, whether it is a career or if they want to pursue a graduate degree. So know that we are here for you. And if you would like to talk to me personally, my phone number here at the university is 937-376-6612, or you can email me at whayes, Hayes, at centralstate.edu. Have a great day, and I hope you stick around to experience the entire event. Thank you.
Mrs. Hayes, thank you for that
Thank
awesome
you.
information. We are excited to hear from you. Hopefully our counselors were able to take copious notes to know that we definitely encourage you to send your students because we're definitely going to take good care of them. Now, we're going to go back to our Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. F. Eric Brooks. Dr. Brooks, are you there?
I am here.
Absolutely. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's all yours, sir.
Well, first of all, I want to thank all the counselors for participating in this event. We are delighted that you've chosen to spend your time with us here at Central State. Like they said, I'm F. Eric Brooks, the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs here at Central State. And I'm a first-generation college student. And so I realize the importance of what counselors do at the K through 12 level. If it had not been for a counselor, who knows what I would have ended up being. And speaking with a counselor changed the trajectory of my life. And so we want to help you get your students to a place where we're going to love them, we're going to work with them academically, and making them well-rounded citizens. As you know, Central State is a historically Black college and university. And within this HBCU, we have 4 colleges. We have the College of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. We have the College of Business. We have the College of Education. And we also have CESTA, which is the College of Science, Technology, and Agriculture. And so within all of these colleges, we have fantastic programs going on here in Central State and Academic Affairs. There are a few things that I want to highlight, though. One of the things that we're trying to do at Central is we want to be a hub for K through 12 teachers and producing Black male teachers. We have a Black male initiative where we're working within the state of Ohio to place as many Black male teachers as we can. We want to populate and produce Black male teachers. So that's one of the initiatives that we have going on. We are also developing partnerships and articulation agreements with various colleges so that if we have students that are excelling very well, that in their junior and senior years, they can go ahead and begin graduate school or professional school. So we have several of those articulation agreements with universities across the nation. And so we're hoping that you will send your students to us to participate in that kind of program as well. The other emphasis that we have here at Central State is we're putting a lot of emphasis on internship. We know that we have companies want places or students that can marry the theory with the practice. And we think that internships are very valuable to the success of our students. We have internship relationships with not only corporations, but state and local municipalities as well. We have an agreement with Procter & Gamble. We have one with Cold Blue and several other places. So we know that there's a highlighted focus on students going to college and being able to find jobs after that. And so we want to be center stage in helping these students find jobs after college. We want to welcome you to come to campus if you're ever in our neck of the woods. And our goal is to help students get to where they want to be and the places that they want to go. And we just thank all of you for spending your time with us today. If you want to contact me, you can contact me by my email. That's FEBrooks, BROOKS, @centralstate.edu. And now we'll turn it back over to Dr. Dixon.
Thank you, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs. Dr. Brooks, thank you, sir, for your time. Thank you, Mrs. Hayes, for that informative information. Counselors, we are excited. Again, we have some power-packed information for you. But before we move further on with the information, we've got to send it back over to Dr. Fluker for our raffle giveaways. Dr. Fluker, are you there?
Hello, we are back. Thank you so
Glad
much.
to have you back.
We are excited about all the good things happening, and more importantly, the amazing academic programming that we have going on here, as well as the amazing student affairs program that we have going on here, is a major plus because it's all about engaging our students. And we know that we have to maintain at least at the level that you all started, because when you think about a student's experience, it starts that freshman year in high school. And you all do a great job of cultivating them all the way, getting them ready for us. And so what we're doing in the classroom, as well as in student affairs, is making sure that we're continuing that great and positive momentum. So at this time, let's bring up the wheel and let's spin it and see who our next winner is. It's spinning. Let's see who our lucky person is going to be this go round. And we have we have a winner. Our winner is Tuesday Williams. Congratulations, Tuesday Williams. You are the recipient of a $50 gift card, compliments of President Jack Thomas and the Central State University family, a small token for us to show our appreciation. Back over to you, Dr. Dixon.
Absolutely. Well, Dr. Fluker, don't leave us too soon. We have a special guest counselor and definitely wanted you to share a few words about our special guest counselor that's going to be sharing some and interviewing our president on today.
Certainly. One of the things that a visionary leader does is they identify people who can lend themselves to give a knowledge base. And Dr. Thomas put together a blue ribbon task force. And that blue ribbon task force consisted of individuals who had significant years of experience, from university president to multiple areas within the university community. But as I mentioned earlier, what's important is engaging the players, or what I call the ultimate influencers, which is the counselors. And so Dr. Thomas was very deliberate to include an individual who spent 25 years counseling students, similar to what you all do every day. Dr. Takwa Lewis is a native of Birmingham, Alabama. But one interesting fact about Dr. Lewis, she spent a majority of her summers right here in Ohio, primarily in the Cleveland area. And she comes from a family of educators, and legacy of education is a theme in her family. And so given her background and experience, she was chosen to be a member of the Blue Ribbon Task Force, had a chance to look internally at our processes and come in and give advice and counsel to our admissions and recruitment teams. And we're excited to have her. So she and Dr. Thomas are actually going to spend a little time talking. You know Dr. Thomas's background. Dr. Thomas is also from Alabama. He has tremendous experience with land-grant universities. He is a product of historically Black colleges and universities. And more importantly, he's very passionate. When people ask, what are the primary focal points? What's the theme of President Thomas's background? Partnerships, academic excellence, and basically exposing our students to tremendous growth opportunities. You'll hear about some things that he's doing. And so at this time, I'm not going to steal his thunder or take too much away from his dialogue with Dr. Lewis, and I'm going to pass it over. So introducing to you, Dr. Takwa Lewis and our president, our esteemed 9th president, President Jack Thomas.
Good morning, everyone, and I bring you greetings from Birmingham, Alabama, and a proud member of Dr. Thomas's Blue Ribbon Task Force. We had the opportunity from February until 100 days with Dr. Thomas to celebrate and look at things that Central State needed. So Dr. Thomas took the helm and took the position in February and celebrated his 100th day as the president of Central State in October. So with that being said, Dr. Thomas, would you please come to the screen and greet the counselors and let everyone know a little bit about your initiatives. But first, why should students choose Central State University?
Thank you, Dr. Lewis, for joining us today, and thank you for serving on the Blue Ribbon Task Force to help me have a smooth transition here to Central State University. To our counselors, welcome to Central State University. I want to congratulate you on all that you have done, because in the midst of this pandemic, you have been on the forefront working with the high school students and getting them prepared to apply and to go on to college. So we appreciate you, and we appreciate you joining us here today. Why Central State University? Well, here at Central State University, we focus on academic excellence. We want our students to be successful here. When they come here, we have outstanding faculty and staff who are second to none. These faculty and staff members are willing to work with our students to make sure and to nurture them and to create an environment where they can be successful. That's what we do here at our historically Black institution. We have outstanding signature programs, programs that are second to none. For example, one of the signature programs, Water Resources Management. We're the only institution, the only HBCU with that program. We're only one of 4 institutions that has that program in the country. That's just one of them. We have all outstanding programs across the disciplines, as you've heard from our Provost and Academic Vice President, Dr. Brooks. We are a student-centered university. And I often have to tell students we're not student-run, but every decision that we make is with the students' best interests at heart. We want our students to be successful when we are recruiting them, that they have a good experience when we're recruiting them, as well as when they're here. And then we're helping them go on to graduate and professional school, as well as into their careers once they leave Central State University. Now, sending your students to Central State University, they're not just a number. We are a small institution where we get to know the students. And we work with those students, we mentor the students. And we started a mentoring program here at Central State University this fall. Every freshman will be mentored here at this university. As a matter of fact, I have 5 of those students that I'm mentoring myself personally, because I want to make sure that I'm involved with the students as well. We have a pandemic, but we brought our students back face to face, and some of them were online. But at the same time, I still had an opportunity to walk through the campus with practicing social distancing, of course. But at the same time, I want to make sure that students see me and that they know that we're here to work with them. Also, we started an honors program here. I hired the inaugural executive director of the Honors College, where we're recruiting the best and brightest students, those who have high ACTs, high grade point averages, and that they are valedictorians and salutatorians here at the university as well. And we have scholarships for those students too. We also have what we call the President's Scholarship. And that's a full ride here at Central State University, as well as other scholarships also. But we want you to know that sending your students to Central State University, they can be successful. And we want to see them successful. And we will work with them, nurture them, and we have a family kind of environment here. And we encourage our students to think big, to dream big, and to achieve their goals. But our first core value is academic excellence. We want them to achieve in terms of academic excellence.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. Counselors, I do what you do every day. We're in the trenches, and we all know that in addition to the responsibilities that we have on a regular basis, because of the pandemic, we have additional responsibilities. Dr. Thomas is very much relationship driven. When I visited the campus in October and had an opportunity to meet with the leadership team, one of the things that we talked about and I stressed then was relationships. And Dr. Thomas is very much relationship driven, which is why he has this Counselor's Day today. Dr. Thomas, you have 9 strategic priorities. And one of those you touched on just a little bit. And I'd like for you to go into a little bit more detail about the land grant institution.
Right. We're on 1890 Land Grant University, and we got that designation in 2014 prior to my arrival. And we're focusing on agriculture. We're focusing on the STEM area. And when you look at agriculture here, we have funding in agriculture. We have funding in the STEM areas, as well as when it comes to ROTC and the Honors College. But we're an 1890 land grant institution. We're the only 1890 land grant institution in the state of Ohio. We're the only public historically Black college here in the state of Ohio.
Okay, as a counselor, I know their ears are highly attuned to what you're saying, because you're talking about money. And for those of us who have seniors, we always tell our students, follow the money, follow the money. So as Dr. Thomas has mentioned, there are scholarships available at Central State University, and I'm sure you'll hear more about that in just a little bit. But in response to COVID-19, the students are on campus they were on campus in the fall, and they will be in the spring. Can you talk a little bit about the numbers as it relates to COVID-19 and Central State University?
Yes, we were very fortunate, during this pandemic, that our numbers were very low, somewhere around 2%. Because of our remote location, and we felt that we could create a very safe environment. We had an IRT, an institutional response team, that we put together to look at how we would bring students back to the university this fall. And we brought them back. We were successful with our plan. As a matter of fact, Governor DeWine commended us on what we were doing, because we had the students all online the first couple of weeks until we did all of the testing. And then the testing, we had testing optional for faculty and staff. And right now, our students are remote after Thanksgiving, where they're online finishing up. And then in the spring semester, we plan to bring them back for the first couple of weeks online, so that we can do the testing of the students again. And then they will go fully remote for those who really want to be remote. Fully face-to-face. But for those who want to be remote, we can have them remote as well. So we have provided a very safe environment for our students. I congratulated our students as well as our faculty and staff because they have been very diligent in following the protocols and processes that we have in place in terms of safety and practicing distancing, as well as washing their hands and wearing the mask here on our campus. So the numbers were very low, and I think because of our location and the preparation that we have done to make sure that we have a safe campus. Dr. Lewis, I do want to focus a little bit more on my 9 goals, some of the key points on the 9 goals, and that has to do with increasing our enrollment. We have set a target for about 3,000 students on face-to-face. That's our target goal for enrollment. But we have right now another 2,200 online in addition to the face-to-face 2,000 students. And we're growing online as well. And we're coming up with new academic programs that are cutting edge kinds of academic programs that will make this institution more competitive. I always say students come to the university for various reasons, but they particularly come because of our academic programs. And we're looking at starting an MBA online this coming fall 2021. And that MBA will be all online, and other graduate programs that we're looking at also. But we want to grow our enrollment here at Central State, and we're really working well. And this is one of the initiatives that we're doing in terms of the Counselors' Day here at Central State. In addition to that, we're working on our retention and graduation rates by creating the Honors College, where we're bringing in those high achieving students, as well as we're going to maintain our mission, recruit those students who may be mid-range, as well as those who may be borderline, but also meet our standards here at Central State University. But we want to reach out to those students, more students at the higher level, where that will help us in terms of our overall retention and graduation rates here at Central State, as well as our rankings in U.S. News and World Report, as well as the Princeton Review and other rankings as well. In addition to that, we are a student-centered university, and we want you to know that it's about those students. Our students are our clients, and we want to make sure that we recruit them and that they do well here at Central State. They can come here and be successful. If they need tutoring, we have academic support services to work with those students as well. But those are just 2 other things that I wanted to mention in addition to the Honors College about the 9 goals that we have here at Central State University.
Counselors, I know because I've been on campus, the campus is so welcoming and inviting, and everyone is friendly. And those are things that we look for. Dr. Thomas and his leadership team recognizes that we are the pulse of their clients. We know what the students need, and we see that based on your experiences and things that you've implemented since you've been at Central State, that you have the students' best interest at heart. With the mentoring program, that gives students another opportunity to have an additional person outside of their academic advisor, as well as any instructors that they have. So they have another person with whom they can develop a rapport and relationships with when they, while they're on campus. And of course, we want students to graduate, so that retention and graduation is extremely important. Before we finish, if there was one thing that you would share with the counselors, Dr. Thomas, and that one thing, why Central, why choose Central State University?
Choose Central State because we are a nurturing institution. And you know I can't just say one thing. Our theme here at Central State University is that innovation is in our DNA. We're innovative, we're creative, and we're flexible. That's what we do here at Central State University. Innovation is in our DNA. We will do the things that we need to do to make sure that your students are successful.
Counselors, I don't know about you, but this is the exact thing that I look for when assisting my students as they choose and look at universities and colleges to attend. They have to choose the one that's right for them. So you have the opportunity to visit the campus, develop relationships with the admissions team and the recruiters at Central State, and let your students go to Central State. As a matter of fact, way from Birmingham, Alabama, I am going to be recruiting some students to possibly attend Central State University. So Dr. Thomas, thank you so much for having me today, and I will turn it back over to Dr. Dixon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Thank you, President Thomas. We appreciate all of the informative information. I'm actually participating in the faculty and staff mentoring program as well. I love hearing the stories from those young individuals. They have so many dreams and goals. It's just amazing to hear their stories. And definitely, I asked Dr. Lewis and President Thomas to hang around. We're definitely going to have a question and answer session as well. We definitely have some other information that we're going to share with you guys also. But before we move into our question and answer session, I definitely want to check to see if Dr. Fluker is still ready to share any more giveaways.
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Dixon. This is the most exciting piece. Thank you, Dr. Thomas and Dr. Lewis, for sharing. Dr. Thomas talks about innovation is in our DNA, but I want to also compliment you all, because in order to get through the year that we've been through, you had to be flexible, you had to be creative, and that made all the difference to not just the students that you serve, but their families as well. And we've seen an outpour of acknowledgement for that innovation. At this time, if we can bring the wheel back up, we will spin the wheel and see where we land. Let's spin the wheel. Almost there. Who's our lucky person? Looks like it's going to be Ms. Ariel Watts. Congratulations, Ms. Watts. You are the recipient of a $50 gift card. And by the way, we'll be getting these cards to you actually directly as soon as we're done with this engagement. Thank you very much. And back over to you, Dr. Dixon.
Thank you, Dr. Fluker. We're going to jump right into our question and answer session. The question and answer session will possibly extend beyond our financial presentation as well. I'm going to bring on Ms. K.O. Sanders to host and handle our question and answer session. Ms. K.O., how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for welcoming me back. So let's get this Q&A started. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask the questions live in the chat, and we will go ahead and pull up your questions and ask them. I know for sure we had a couple already, so I will go ahead and start clicking them up. Thank you, Dr. Dixon.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's see. First question. Okay, it looks like we have, what are the requirements for the presidential scholarship? So we will, I know you haven't met him yet, but we'll pull up Dr. Paul Schlag here, and he'll be more than happy to answer this question for you, Ms. Cam.
Cam, thank you so much for your question. The Presidential Scholarship is the most prestigious award offered at Central State University, and it's reserved for a few of our most outstanding incoming freshmen. So the award is determined by a committee, and we're looking for a 3.7 plus unweighted high school GPA. We're looking for a 1200 plus SAT or a 27 plus ACT. These people have to enroll in the Honors College and remain there to keep receiving the award over the 4 years. And then what we're looking for is someone who's demonstrated leadership ability, community engagement, and strength of character. So we want to reward all of the hard work that they've already put in and see if we can't take them to the next level of success.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And again, we'll bring Dr. Schlag back out, and you'll get to know all about him. He has great things for the university as well. Okay, next question we have here. Are the mentors staff, students, or both? So that is actually something that is housed in the Office of Academic Affairs. And let's see if I can get Dr. Brooks here to answer your question, or we can get the president himself.
Well, I'll answer that question. Well, the students are mentored by faculty and staff. Not by students yet. We want to move into peer tutoring, peer mentoring as well. We'll eventually get there and have the upperclassmen and the ambassadors mentoring the students. But right now it's just faculty as well as staff and administrators. And as I stated, I have 5 mentees myself. So yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next question. we have, is there a minimum GPA to be considered for admissions? I am the director of admissions, so I think I can answer that question. We have a minimum GPA of a 2.2 unweighted with a preferred GPA of at least a 2.5. And the next question that we have here, do you need a separate application for the honors program or the presidential scholarship? So Ms. Volks, I am not going to steal Dr. Schlag's shine as we did not pull him up yet, but he is the executive director of the Honors College. So if you can hold tight, we'll go ahead and bring him up so he can answer that when it's his time to speak, if that's okay. Is there any tuition breaks for students from Michigan? I will see, perhaps Ms. Morton over in financial aid might be able to assist us with that question. Hello, Ms. Morton.
Good morning and thank you. At this time, there is not an actual tuition break for students for out-of-state. All out-of-state students at this time do have that out-of-state charge, but there is a tuition guarantee as well. So, and when students are accepted, enrolled, you do know all about the tuition guarantee program. Yes, but there are no actual tuition breaks.
Thank you so much, Ms. Morton. I see another honors college questions from B.L. Evans, and we'll, like I said, Dr. Schlag will get that in his presentation, as well as Ms. Vick. We will get you some more information about tuition in Ms. Morton's presentation as well. I just don't want to steal their shine yet. Do we have any other questions? Anything, counselors? I know we have lots of things that we have not covered. So if you guys have any questions, please put it in the chat. Maybe we will revisit the Q&A after all of the presentations. Let me pull up Dr. Dixon here and let us continue on. So maybe after the presentations, Dr. Dixon, what do you think? Another Q&A session?
Absolutely. All throughout the presentations, counselors, send in your questions. We definitely want to get those questions answered. Remember, this is an ongoing relationship. We definitely want to make sure that we get your questions answered. So all you have to do is call us. Hey, I got 10 students waiting to come to Central State. Hey, I have 20 students waiting to come to Central State. So definitely we're going to continue on with the question and answer session. Please enter your questions in the chat box. I think it's time for another giveaway.
I think it is.
Are you around?
I am here. I am here, ready for another giveaway. We're going to go ahead and bring the wheel up and we're going to spin the wheel. And it's spinning. Looks like we have a winner, and the winner is Sarah Ball. Miss Sarah Ball, congratulations. You are the lucky winner of a $50 gift card, compliments of Central State University and President Jack Thomas. Thank you all for being here with us today. Let's go back over to you, Dr. Dixon.
Thank you. Congratulations. Counselors, I know that you have so many questions regarding the finances, and it's now time for us to bring on our financial aid counselor, interim manager for the Office of Financial Aid, Ms. Stephanie Morton. Ms. Morton is a part of our great alumni here at Central State University. She has some amazing information that she's going to share on the affordability of Central State University. Ms. Morton, how are you?
I am well. Thank you so much. Good morning, counselors, and welcome to the Central State University President's Counselor Day. Again, my name is Stephanie Morton, and I am a manager here in the Office of Financial Aid. And I am so very excited to speak to you all this morning about something that is so near and dear to me, which is financial aid. And as you are the front line for students, I hope that this overview will provide you with some useful information that can be used while assisting your students as they transition to higher learning. We always want to welcome you to Marauder Land. We're going to just have a high overview today about financial aid, and at the end, I will give you my contact information. So if you should have any questions or concerns about anything, you can definitely feel free to reach out to me. So we're actually going to get to how to pay for college. So we're going to talk about FAFSA, types of aid, a little bit about requirements and affordability. Next slide. As you know, college is a rewarding investment. Central State University is committed to providing a quality and affordable education. Please note, though, that financial aid will likely not meet all of the educational costs, but it can assist and reduce overall out-of-pocket expenses for all students. How does financial aid work? By this time, most of you know that all students have to complete what's known as a FAFSA, or a free application for federal student aid, to be able to start the application or the financial aid process. Completing the FAFSA helps to determine a student's eligibility to utilize different funds that the government is making available to assist in obtaining that higher education. How does financial aid work? The first step, again, even before you do the FAFSA, is a very important piece, which is known as your FSA ID and password. So in order to complete the FAFSA for the first time, students and parents alike need to establish an FSA ID or password at studentaid.gov, which you see listed here. In order to apply for financial aid and or to access the U.S. Department of Education websites, this information is actually very pertinent to a student and a parent. The FSA ID confirms the identity of the student borrower and parent to allow access to a financial aid information and allow for the electronic signature of federal student aid documents. Next slide. Types of aid that's awarded, you will see here, are grants, federal loans, work study, and scholarships. Grants is that the non-repaid money. So we actually urge and we would like for all of our students to be able to be eligible for grants. The next one is federal loans, which is actually fixed, lower interest rate loans in which a student can also obtain to help with their college education. The next is work study, where students can obtain campus-based jobs, and this is need-based aid. And the main one that we focus on is scholarships. Next slide. You will see some of the institutional aid that's listed here, and Dr. Thomas also mentioned these as well. You will see here that it consists of athletics. You have some band, choir, and performing arts aid that can be received, ROTC. The one that we love to talk about the most, your freshman scholarships, the Charles H. Wesley Presidential, and the newest is our Honors College. This is the most exciting, I think, slide that we have here, is to talk about the freshman merit scholarship and the criteria for students to receive this. As you see here, if a student has between a 2.7 and a 2.9 GPA, they can be awarded $1,000 immediately upon being admitted into the university. If they have a 3.0 to 3.29, they will then be awarded $2,000. For a 3.3 to 3.69 GPA, they will be awarded $3,000. And for a 3.7 to 4.0, they will be awarded $4,000. So why choose CSU? So we've talked about a lot of things. Dr. Thomas talked about, the academic excellence, but we also want to talk about the affordability as well. So you will see here that this is just a main thing that we usually like to talk about in the Office of Financial Aid. How much does it actually cost, or what is that actual cost of attendance, and what is it made up of? So you will see here that your direct cost plus your indirect cost equals your cost of attendance, or your budget. The cost of attendance is the maximum amount of aid that the government will allow us to accept on a student's behalf. So what this means is that a student is eligible for a certain amount of money between federal financial aid and scholarship money. As you will see noted here, your direct costs consist of your tuition and fees, your room, which is the housing, and board, which is meals. So direct costs are those items that are initially charged to any student upon enrollment at a college or university. The next one is indirect cost. This one here is a little bit harder to sometimes understand, but it's very important. Indirect cost, again, is that amount of money in scholarships or additional aid that students can receive to help to fund their higher educational costs. Within your indirect cost, you have certain things such as books, supplies, transportation needs that a student would actually incur that would help them if they get additional scholarship money. Again, indirect costs are not ever charged to a student. It's just helpful with obtaining scholarships and how much a student can actually obtain. Next slide. Here are our 2021 direct costs for in-state and out-of-state students. So you will see here that for in-state students, the tuition and fees is $3,498. The average room charge is $3,000, and the average board charge is $2,440. You will also see here that there is a health fee of $815 as well, but that amount can be waived if students have outside health coverage. And the total per semester, if you are an in-state student, is $9,753, an annual total of $19,506. Out-of-state charges, again, your tuition fees and out-of-state charge would then take your tuition up to $4,498, again with that same room charge of $3,000 and that same board charge of $2,440 and the $815 health fee would take your total per semester at $10,753 for an annual total of $20,506. So again, this is just an overview. This one may be kind of hard to see, but we just kind of wanted to let you counselors know what an actual award letter would look like. So what the award letter would look like once your student is actually accepted into the university, the financial aid is then comprised. We will then on this end send out an award letter to each student. The award letter will give that direct cost and the indirect cost that we spoke about. And then on the next screen, it will give all of the aid that they've been awarded. So on the next screen, it should have shown the actual award. So the student that we did have, it gave them a full package and they were an actual in-state student. And with the package that the student received, they didn't have any out-of-pocket cost. And again, we are always here to help students reach that ultimate goal, which is graduation. And again, we welcome you all to Marauderland. And should you have any questions, you can contact us directly at financialaid@centralstate.edu, or you can contact me directly at smorton, SMORTON, @centralstate.edu. And my direct number here is area code 937-376-6577. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the event today. And I will now turn it over back to Dr. Dixon.
Thank you, Mrs. Morton. Again, counselors, definitely submit your questions, financial questions as well. We do have an admissions session, so we're definitely going to make sure we get your questions answered as well. Dr. Fluker, are you around for another quick giveaway?
Here. I am here, and thank you. One of the things that we know is a game changer is access to education. And I hope what you gleaned from the financial aid presentation, as well as the presentation that Dr. Schlag gave on the Honors College, is that we are here for all kinds of students. We want to diversify our student population by having individuals who are high academic achieving, but we also understand and are committed to our mission as an HBCU to serve some of our first generation students and or individuals who would not normally have the opportunity to go to college. So we're excited about that, and I hope that that message and information helps you get some understanding of that. That being said, for those of you who help us get access to those amazing students, we are going to do another raffle. I'd like to give a shout out to our Vice President of Business and Finance and Administration, Vice President Pettis, who made all of this possible. So at this time, let's go ahead and spin the wheel. The wheel is spinning. And it looks like we have our next winner. And our next winner is Mr. Howard Weiner. Mr. Weiner, congratulations. You are the recipient of a $50 gift card, compliments of President Jack Thomas and the Central State University family. You deserve it, and we appreciate you. Back over to you, Dr. Dixon.
Congratulations, Mr. Weiner. Ms. Ko, are you available?
I'm always available for these lovely counselors. All right, so next up, we have an executive director here of the Honors College that I've been hyping up this whole time, Dr. Paul Schlag. He's coming from Illinois, and I know we have several counselors here from Illinois here today. Let's see some Illinois in the chat. Dr. Schlag, come on up. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ko. All right, well, I wanted to talk a little bit about our exciting Honors College at Central State University and answer some of your questions. But first, I'd like just a serious note. I have a high school senior, and I have another son who's a freshman in high school, and a daughter who's a freshman at a university right now, just beginning. So I wanted to take the time to personally thank each of you for the service that you're rendering during this difficult time. I know that counselors were incredibly important with my daughter, who graduated from high school last year in the midst of the pandemic. And now my son, who's struggling with this pandemic, being a senior in high school. I hope you'll be blessed for the great work that you're doing. And I appreciate all that you do to serve these outstanding students and to shape their futures. So what I'd like to do is create a vision for you, hopefully, for what we can offer your students as they come to Central State University. In terms of honors, we welcome incoming freshmen who will apply. There's an application online, honors.centralstate.edu. And when they apply, we'll see if they're eligible, and they're eligible with a 3.5 unweighted high school GPA, and then some evidence of some leadership and other activities in high school. Now, just because they don't get in that first semester, that doesn't mean that we close the door on them. We want to encourage them. New beginnings are wonderful. So if they come here and after the first semester at Central State, they gain that 3.5 GPA here, then they can apply to and be admitted to the Honors College and experience all the wonderful things that we have to offer. So that's how you get in. We want to do as many ways as possible to get people into the Honors College and support them. So you saw already that we offer a world-class education at a reachable and affordable manner. So you can see with some of the scholarships that they can get through the Honors College, through the university, through different majors. We have so much support available to these students. So I would encourage you to encourage them to keep up their high achieving academic work and to strive for that excellence so that that work can be paid off and they can come here and not go into too much debt, if any at all, while getting a high world-class education. So some of the things that we offer are, we have 2 residence halls for our honors students. One residence hall is for incoming honors freshmen, and the other are for upperclassmen that are honors students, which really creates this great living, learning community where we're striving for excellence together and we're learning about each other's disciplines, and just creates this great intellectual atmosphere. That's optional. They don't have to live there, but most of these students choose to live in those honors residence halls. Again, they can apply for that presidential scholarship, someone asked. So there will be an application online in January for students to apply for that prestigious award. So let me talk a little bit about our program. I think it's a great, innovative, creative program. When you think about it, there are 3 million people going to graduate from universities and colleges in the United States this year. So we need to be thinking about what is going to set our students apart, what is going to make them marketable, what's going to help them to become productive citizens with gainful employment after their education. And so we think at Honors that we will give them a leg up as they show that they're committed to doing just a little bit more, to strive to be above and beyond what's typically asked of them. Now, usually we have student affairs who thinks their education that they provide is most important, and then you have academic affairs that thinks that the education they provide is most important, and they're both right. So what we're doing at Honors is we're trying to bridge those 2 things together. And so we have an individualized honors program that taps into their coursework, but also outside co-curricular activities. They have the opportunity to do complete requirements for general honors, which happens their first 2 years, honors in the major, which happens their 3rd and 4th year. If they do both of those, they will get university honors. And then we also firmly believe in study abroad opportunities and becoming a global citizen. So there's international honors designations as well. And what they're doing in the requirements for these is they're working on honors projects. And I'll tell a quick story about an honors project of a student I supervised. We were in a youth development course, and we read about something called the 40 developmental assets. And it looked at if youth have these 40 assets in their lives, they're much less likely to participate in bad behavior. And the fewer assets that they have, the more likely they are to participate in problematic behaviors. So the student was fascinated by this, and she decided to look at our own community, and she went out there she went to the community and said, she went to all the high schools in the area, the junior highs in the area, and wanted to survey their students to find out what assets these students had in their own lives. She recruited her sorority sisters to help to administer all these surveys. And so we were able to reach almost 100% of the population of youth in that community. Then she wrote it up into a paper and she presented it to everyone, and it showed in the community where our gaps were in terms of what we were doing to serve our youth and to help them to thrive. And she eventually went on to publish this, but it was a great example of an honors project that went above and beyond what was in the class and helped the community, engaged other people across the campus. So students will be participating in projects like that that will help them. These projects should benefit the student, should benefit the faculty member, should benefit the communities we serve as well. So we're excited about this program. We can offer that personalized touch and care about each individual student and provide a family atmosphere for them. We want to help them to succeed. We'll put them up for prestigious awards and scholarships and provide them mentorship and support that we know they need. So I'm excited to share the honors program with you. You can get a hold of us at honors@centralstate.edu. Again, I encourage you to visit that website, which should answer your questions. And I appreciate your help in pointing some high achieving or highly motivated students to our honors program here. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Schlag, for that informative information. Next, we're going to bring up Mrs. K.O. Sanders. She's going to close us out with our admissions information and any upcoming events that she can share with us on this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Dr. Schlag. The Honors College is definitely a great opportunity for any future marauder. And again, speaking of future marauders, the biggest event that we have this semester would be, of course, our Campaign 1887. The announcement was given about a month ago from the president himself, basically on Discover Day. We are waiving our $105 new student confirmation fee until January 15th. And this is huge. So you're able to save your student $105. Of course, it starts with applying to Central State, and you can apply at centralstate.edu/apply. Then from there, of course, counselors, this is when you come in to go ahead and send us those lovely transcripts. We take them through avenues, which is admissions@centralstate.edu. We have Naviance and, of course, send.edu. Again, keep in mind that we have a 2.2 unweighted cumulative GPA minimum requirement. And we are also test optional. Although some scholarships may have an ACT or SAT requirement, so you will have to check out each of those scholarships to see which ones work for each. So unfortunately, this is our very last raffle. So I know we've saved the best for last. Dr. Fluker, what is our final giveaway?
Yes, we have definitely saved the best for last, and we are so excited to be giving away an efficiency tool. We have an iPad that is going to go to our next winner. But before we raffle off, I just want to thank all of our participants. Thank you for being here with us today. A very special thanks to Central State University family members who came together to put on this production. We've had a lot of fun. COVID has created some restrictions, but COVID has forced us to discover the innovation in our DNA. And we have really been fortunate enough to leverage new tools and test and do some different engagement. Just to share with you some stats, it looks like we had about 75 people that were watching on Facebook. I don't have the count for YouTube Live, but I also know that we had about 55 individuals here with us throughout, in and out. So that's a really good number. And we're seeing a lot of comments, a lot of conversation happening online. And we are super duper excited now to bring up the wheel to recognize our final winner, who is the winner of an iPad. Let's spin the wheel for the last time. Excellent. It looks like we have a winner, Miss Krista Nuru. You are the proud owner of a brand new iPad, and we are super excited that you have been a part of this. We are very, very excited to to have all of the individuals who've been a part of this. We've gone over by about 4 minutes. The chat rooms will remain open. Please share any questions. We have your contact information. We hope that this is just the beginning of a relationship. And so on behalf of the Central State University family and President Jack Thomas, thank you all for being here and looking forward to the next time when we celebrate our counselors. Keep doing what you're doing, remain safe, and continue to do the great things that you do. And we are here at Central State University. Thank you.